Okay? So the only thing that they gave you is a 0.32, and they told you that m is equal to 1 over 4.
Yeah.
Now, what did the directions say?
Just find like the slope of the intercept.
Read the directions word for word for me. Read the directions.
Let me get my book real quick. It says write an equation of the line that has given slope.
All right, young man. So let's do that, okay?
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Clemens, what I'm going to do with you, young man, is we're gonna solve the same problem in more than one way, okay?
Okay.
So whichever one you feel comfortable with, you use that.
All right.
Now, I want you to learn both.
Okay.
So you listen good. Let's go, okay? All right, let's take a look. All right, so the first equation that you gave me was y equals mx plus b. All right? Yeah. And if I say something unclear, you let me know, all right?
Okay.
All right, so what you're going to do, Clemens, is you're going to substitute. This first number is an x value. The second number is a y value. And that's all the time. Your first number is always an x value. Your second number is always a y value. And what you're going to do is you're going to substitute the y value here. You're going to substitute the slope here. And you're going to substitute the x value here in order to find b.
Okay.
All right. So now let's substitute in y. What's y?
You said what's y?
I'm sorry?
Wait, what did you say?
I'd like you to substitute in the value for y. What's y in our problem? What's y?
A 3, I guess.
Oh, no, okay. See, like I told you, Clemens, the first number is x.
Yeah, 2.
Very good, Clemens. So you got 2. Now let's substitute in for the slope. What's our slope?
The slope is 1 over 4.
There you go. Very good, young man. And then x, what's x?
X is 3.
Very good, young man. And then we're going to solve for b. All right. Okay. So now you have 2. Bringing the 2 down is equal to 1/4 times 3. 1/4 times 3. You know how to multiply fractions, Clemens?
Yeah, kind of. Isn't it 7?
Okay.
12.
Okay. Now, Clemens, what you're going to have to do is the way you multiply fractions is you multiply the top numbers together. 1 times 3 is 3. And then you multiply the bottom numbers together.
Okay.
4 times 1, what do you get?
4.
4.
3 over 4.
So, Mr. Clemens, when you hang up, you're going to have to remind yourself the way you multiply fractions is you multiply the top numbers together, and then you multiply the bottom numbers together.
All right.
Plus b. Now you're going to solve for this y-intercept, variable b, by subtracting 3/4 on both sides. You're going to isolate that b. So
all right.
That cancels out, and you're going to get b is equal to, Clemens, do you know how to subtract fractions? 2 over 1. I'm going to subtract 2 over 1 minus 3/4. You know how to subtract fractions, young man?
No, not really.
Okay. Clemens, I really want to acknowledge you and applaud you for calling in. And I also want you to, when you get time, go to my YouTube channel, Dominate Math, and I have videos on how to subtract and add, multiply, divide fractions, and you learn how to do these things on your own time.
All right.
All right, and I challenge you to do that.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, so let's finish this problem, okay, Clemens?
Okay.
All right, so you need a common denominator, which is 4, and when you watch the videos, you'll see how I got 4.
Right.
So 4 times 1 is 4. You got to multiply this 3 times 1, the same number, you get 3. You multiply this 1 by 4 to get that, and you got to multiply this 2 by the same thing. You get 8. So you're going to
Okay.
get 8 minus 3, which is 5. And you're going to get 5 over 4. And it turns out that that is going to be your final answer.
Oh, 5/4. Okay.
Okay, so your final answer, the equation, is y is equal to m. What's m? What's m again?
M is 5/4.
No, m, don't forget, was 1 over 4 x, and then plus b, which you now solved
okay.
for. You now solve for, what's b?
Oh, 5/4.
5 over 4.
Right.
All right, Clement, so that's the final answer, all right?
right.
I said that we were going to do mastery level, but I changed my mind, man. That wore me down a little bit. Let's stop right there, and I want you to continue to watch, okay? And don't forget to check out those videos on Dominate Math, my channel on YouTube, okay?
All right, will.
All right, you have a good evening, and thanks for watching.
All right.
You do good in
All right.
school. You hear me, okay?
All right, you too. Thank you so much.
All right, man. All right, so that's one caller, Mr. Clemens, and we invite you to call in, 312-738-1060. We got another problem on page 274. This is PSAT practice. We're practicing geometry, percents, arithmetic, basic math. Call in, and we'll do the best we can to help you. All right, let's jump into it. This is another problem. All right, so what we have is I'll read it. I know the print's small. I know the print is very, very small. But what we're going to do is do the best we can. It says, if each of the 12 small squares in this figure above has a side of length 2, what is the perimeter? There's that word again, perimeter. Hopefully we get somebody to call in, 312-738-1060, and give me their quick definition of what perimeter is. I only have 5 seconds. You got to call in right now. Call in right now, because I got to do this problem. You call in, 312-738-1060. You tell me what your definition of perimeter is, because we did a problem earlier on perimeter. I don't have a lot of time. All right, so I'm going to do it right now. I was hoping that somebody would call in. All right, so what we have is it says, if each of the 12 squares above has a side of 2. All right, perimeter, by the way, I wanted you to call in, tell me that perimeter is a distance all the way around. So if this is 2, that's 2, that's 2, that's 2, what's this length? It's 8. Again, I'm sorry for writing in the book. Stop doing that. It's a bad example. Very bad example. All right, so that's 8. It says if the 12 square in each figure above has a side of length 2. Each square in the figure above has a side of length 2. What is the perimeter? So this distance would be 8. This distance would be 6. 2, 4, 6. So now they want to know what is the perimeter. Well, perimeter is 2 lengths plus 2 widths. 2 of these plus 2 of those. So you end up with 2 times 8 plus 2 times 6. 16 plus 12, and you get 28 units. 28 units or A. 28 units. Or the answer would be A. You circle A. We don't have any calls, so I'm going to keep going. Let's look at number 8. 8. All right, so we got number 8. Here, for number 8, it says, for number 8, it says here, the area, there's that word area again, square units, the area of one face on a cube is 36. What is the volume? All right, so let's draw a picture of a cube. Draw a picture of a cube, just a 3-dimensional box again. All right. But the difference between this rectangular prism and the other rectangular prism that we talked about before, cube, all the faces are the same. All the faces are the same. So here the area of one face of the cube, and all the lengths are the same too, by the way. So the cube is 36. So that would be 6. That would be 6 to give you area 36. All the lengths are the same. So that means that would be 6. And then they want to know the volume. They want to know the volume. So the formula for the volume is the area of the base times the overall shape. So the area of the base is 36 times the height. The base is a square times the height, which is 6. So you'd end up 36 times 6. Again, no need for a calculator. We get 36. You get 18 plus the borrowing the 3. You get 216. Final answer would be E. I'm rushing a little bit because we have a phone call. Oh, by the way, that'd be units cube. Units cube. 216 units cube. Thank you for calling, caller. How can we help you?
I have a question on fraction.
All right. Hey, can you please talk to me through the telephone, but turn the volume down on your television set?
All right.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
What can we do for you, young lady?
I have a question on fractions. My problem is 3/4 times 5/12.
Times 5/12. Young lady, were you listening when we were talking to Mr. Clement a little while ago? Were you listening?
No.
Oh, you weren't. Okay. Well, one of the things that I told him was multiplying fractions is very, very easy for you. All you have to do is really know your timetables really well. Now, one thing that I didn't say with Clement is I didn't tell him about this idea of cross-canceling. And that's something that you can do here for your problem. Can you tell me what number we can divide both 12 and 3 by evenly? Can you tell
4.
me? Huh?
4.
Okay. Well, I want you to be able to see that you can't divide 3 by 4.
3, 3, 3, 3. I'm sorry.
Very good, young lady. So cross-canceling is just doing that. Dividing each of these numbers by a common factor. So you divide this by 3, you end up with, can you tell me? You divide that by 3?
That's 1 and 4.
Amen. 1 and 4. So now what we told Clement when another caller called in, we told him the way you multiply fractions is you just multiply straight across. You multiply the numerator here to the numerator here, and you multiply the denominator here to the denominator here. All right, so...
Yeah, I know. I'm just on the another part of the question is that I have to turn it to percent.
Oh, okay.
Without a calculator.
Without a calculator, okay. So let's do the multiplying first. So we get 1 times 5 is 5, and then we get 4 times 4. Can you help me? 4 times 4?
16.
16. All right. So now your teacher wants you to be able to determine what percent this represents. And all you have to do is divide these numbers out. So 5 divided by 16. Oh, and this is perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write this as a problem because, young lady, you didn't know it, but one of the things that this show is focusing on today is percents. So let me write this in a way that it could be written in another type of problem. So they could say, what percent, the problem could be what percent of 16, the whole 16, is 5. This could be a problem for you. So the way that I'd like you to do this is one way of doing this problem, is you could begin with this relationship that the part is always equal to the percent times the whole. All right? We're going to do this in 2 different ways. The part is equal to the percent times the whole. The part here is 5. So,
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, so the part here is 5. We're going to do this problem in 2 different ways. is equal to the percent that you don't know times the whole, which is 16. So you're going to solve this by dividing by 16 on both sides, and you're going to end up just dividing 5 by 16. And that's really what I was going to tell you to do in the first place, is just divide these two numbers out. Okay? So let's take the number 5. Let's take the number 5, and let's divide it by 16. That's really all you're going to do. All right, do you know how to divide these numbers?
Yeah.
All right, so what's the first thing I'm going to do besides bring the decimal up?
You got to divide 16.
How many times does 16 go into 5?
0.
All right, so don't put anything over the 5. How many times does 16 go into 50?
Twice.
I think it's 3, young lady. Let's try 3. Let's try 3, okay? So 3 times 6 is 18, carry the 1. And now 3 times 1 is 3, plus that 1 that we carried, we get 4. I was right. It goes in 3 times. So after you multiply, you're going to subtract now. 50 minus 48 is
2.
2. Do you know what's after subtraction?
You bring down to 0.
Bring down to 0. Good job. Now you ask yourself, how many times does 16 go into 20?
Once.
1 time. And now you multiply again. 1 times what? Can you help me?
1 times 16.
Good job. It's 16. And you do what now?
You subtract.
Good job. And then you get 4. And then you're going to have, let's just stop for right there. You get 0.31. Another way to say 0.31, you know how to write 0.31 as a percent?
You put 31%.
You're smart, I can tell. 31% final answer, okay? So the key, it sounded like when I was multiplying fractions, it sounded like you knew how to multiply fractions, okay? You knew how to do that. So it sounded like you just wanted to know how to turn a fraction into a percent. And I showed you how to do that. You take the top number and then you divide that by the bottom number. Okay, do you understand?
Yeah.
You sure?
I'm positive.
All right, you a smart young lady. You do the best you can in school and you continue to watch this show.